नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। So today we are reading from Canto 10, chapter 52, text 37. So we are reading this because today is a Rukmini Dwadashi. So on the glorification of Rukmini ji, we are reading this. Shri Rukminyuvacha Shutva Gunan Bhuvana Sundara Shunvatam Te Nirvishya Karna Vivarair Harato Angatapam Rupam Drusham Drushimata Khila Arthalabham Tvayachyuta Vishati Chittamapatramam Me. Shri Rukminyuvacha Shutva Gunan Bhuvana Sundara Shunvatam Te Nirvishya Karna Vivarair Harato Angatapam Rupam Drusham Drushimatam Akhilarthalabham Tvayachyuta Vishati Chitramapatrapam Me. Shri Rukminyuvacha Shutva Gunan Bhuvana Sundara Shunvatam Te Nirvishya Karna Vivarair Harato Angatapam Rupam Drusham Drushimata Khila Arthalabham Tvayachyuta Vishati Chitramapatrapam Me. Shutva Gunan Bhuvana Sundara Shunvatam Te Harato Angatapam Tvayachyuta Vishati Chitramapatrapam Me. Shutva Gunan Bhuvana Sundara Shunvatam Te निर्विश्य कर्णविवरे भरतो अंगतापम् Mataji's. Piduvacha Shruttva gunan bhuvana sundara shunvatam te Vishyakarma vivare bharatongatapam Vayyachuta vishati chittamapatrapame. Okay. Word to word translation. Shri Rukmini Vacha. Shri Rukmini said, Shrutva, hearing, Gunan, the qualities, Bhuvana, of all the worlds, Sundara, O beauty, Shunvatam, for those who hear, Te, your, Nirvishya, having entered, Karna, of the ears, Vivaraihi, by the orifices, Harataha, removing, Anga, of these bodies, Tapam, the pain, Rupam, the beauty, Drusham, of the sense of sight, Drishimatam, of those who have eyes, Akhila, total, Artha, of the fulfillment of desires, Labham, the obtaining, Tvai, in you, Achyuta, O infallible Krishna, Avishati, is entering, Chittam, mind, Apra, Aparat, Apatrapam, shameless, Me, my. Translation. Sri Rukmini said in her letters, as read by the Brahmana, O beauty of the worlds, having heard of your qualities, which enters the ear of those who hear and remove their bodily distress, and having also heard of your beauty, which fulfills all the visual desires of those who see, I have fixed my shameless mind upon you, O Krishna. Purport by servants of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Rukmini was a king's daughter, courageous and bold, and furthermore, she should rather die than lose Krishna. Considering all this, she wrote a frank, explicit letter begging Krishna to come and take her away. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Goratvishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So first of all, I would like to take the blessings of all the senior devotees, specifically Maharaj, and all of the audience, so that we can describe the wonderful pastimes of Rukmini Mata. So today being the Rukmini Dwadashi, we are hearing about the unparalleled qualities of Mother Rukmini, which attracts the heart of Lord Krishna. So here we are just going to discuss about the letter of Srimati Rukmini Devi, which she sent to Lord Krishna for inviting him to kidnap her and get married. Thank you. So this is a very one of the wonderful pastimes of Krishna, how he married different of his very prominent queens. So this also is very dramatic way how Krishna is marrying with Rukmini. As we all know that Rukmini was part of, she appeared in Vidarbha, and specifically in the city of Kaundinyapur, and now currently it is called as Amaravati, which is part of middle Maharashtra. So Rukmini appeared there in royal family, and she was endowed with all good qualities: chastity, beauty, her intelligence. So she was a perfect match for Lord Krishna, being also the plenary expansion of Srimati Radharani. So Krishna and Rukmini, they are always related, they are never separated. So, but in this pastime we see that how different obstacles were made by her own relatives, by her own brother. This obstacle was made in the marriage of Krishna and Rukmini, because Rukmini was so beautiful, so gentle, and practically loved by everybody in Amaravati. All the kingdom of this Vidarbha loved this princess, and everybody thought that she is the best match for Krishna. Everybody except one person, and that is Rukmi, her elder brother. So brother had a different idea. Brother thought that Krishna is not such a good match. Who is the good match? Shishupal is better match for Rukmini. So he was feeling that if I marry Rukmini with Shishupal, then that will be more beneficial for the whole world. So we see that because Shishupal was one of the that time famous gundas in the whole country, Shishupal, Dantavakra, Kamsa, Jarasandha, so Viduratha, so they were all together, and they were all planning to make a ally so that they can defeat the pious kings, Pandavas, Yadus, like that. So this will be always there, that some parties will come together, some will be there. And then today also we are seeing that. So that will be always there, that the fighting will be always there between these two forces. Some will be dharmic, some will be adharmic, like that. So when here we see that although Rukmini herself loved Krishna, Rukmini's father, mother, they wanted her to marry with Krishna. Everybody in the country, they were very happy that Rukmini gets married to Krishna. But one person who was little powerful in the family, and that is Rukmi, elder brother of Rukmini, he was having his own agenda to be fulfilled through this marriage. Now in this marriage, he was not thinking which will please Rukmini. He was more to have his own agenda fulfilled through the marriage of Rukmini. He thought that if I give this, my sister, in marriage to Shishupal, then my relationship with Shishupal will become more thick. And then he will help me also in many other areas of adharmic activities. So, Jai SriSriRadhaRasbihari ki, Shri Shri Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki Jai, Shri Shri Gaunitai ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. So we see that one person's selfish agenda creates trouble for the whole country. So here Rukmi was wanting to fulfill his own material desires. He wanted to be having better connection with this Asuric parties. So he was ready to sacrifice his own sister's future. Said no problem. So this is what happens when selfishness creeps in. So relationship also are sacrificed on the Vedi of some achievements, like that. So here we see that Rukmini was such object of that exploitation. So Rukmini, being the Kshatriya princess, she was not ready to accept this just like that. So then she devised the means of sending this letter to Lord Krishna through one very trusted messenger who was a Brahmana. So Rukmini calls this Brahmana, gives this letter in his hand, telling that you please go early and give this message to Lord Krishna. And amazing thing is that till now Rukmini and Krishna, they have never seen each other. They have not met each other. Rukmini heard from so many devotees because the court was there and so many devotees will come. Narad Muni will come sometimes. Sometimes some other sages will come. They will glorify Krishna, his activities, his beauty. And being princess, Rukmini was also there. So she was very attracted to just descriptions of Krishna, just by hearing. And then Krishna also had heard about Rukmini, and his mind also was attracted to Rukmini. So we see that both, they have not met each other specifically in this pastimes, although they are together always. But here we see that they have not met, but still they had such a strong attraction to each other. So that's how Rukmini Devi is telling here. Shutva gunan bhuvana sundara shunvatam te nirvishya karna vivarair harato angatapam. So she is telling that since I have heard about you, what has the effect of that hearing? He says that harato angatapam, that all the distress of this material world is vanquished just by hearing about uh, topics of Lord Krishna. So this is the traditional, most scientific way of removing all the miseries in this world. Because we see that there are so many industries, so many research made so that human being will be happy. What not it goes on in so many research laboratories and so many universities, so many things are there. The whole focus is to bring happiness and remove distress from this world. Bhagavatam gives sure shot way, Ramban Upay, for removing all miseries. Because it appears very simple that sitting down and hearing, we feel that how this can help me in any way. Recently, Kamalochan Prabhu was telling this, that His Holiness Radha Govind Maharaj used to come very frequently in Mira Road. So then he was giving lecture on Damodar pastime. And then it went on for 2-3 hours. And then everybody was like drowned in hearing very sweet pastimes. So one boy sitting there, mostly he was from technical background, mostly engineer only. So he raised his hand after the class, and so Maharaj asked him. So he said, Maharaj, you gave such a nice class, and it was very nice. But what practical thing we learn from this? This story was okay, but what practical I can? So Maharaj looked at him as if, he said, 2 hours we had katha, what more practical you want than that? He was telling. So he said, this is the only practical thing, that you sit and hear. Generally, in our understanding, practical means you get up and work very hard, move mountain from here to there, and then you feel that I have done something practical. So for devotees, most practical thing to take care of their miseries, to remove them and bring happiness in their life, the most practical thing is to hear about Krishna Katha. So it doesn't appear, because for us practicality means moving hands and legs. When you become really tired, then you feel that I have done something practical. Sitting down for 2 hours and hearing Krishna Katha doesn't appear practical, because our mentality is so contaminated by the modern education and this kind of how the karma mimamsa says that everything depends on karma. They don't understand the effect of the Paramatma, the higher superior power, the Lord. They feel I do my good karma, I get good result. Where is the question of karma, and where is the question of like somebody granting me mercy and things like that? They said, if I do something, I have to get. So because of this kind of mentality, it becomes very difficult to sit and hear. People feel that is the most impractical thing. When whole people of this world, they are running around, and then devotees come early in the morning where people plan for doing activities. We come and sit, and then we hear how Krishna married Rukmini. So the brain of people who are very surcharged with thought of activity and then results, then hearing Krishna's pastime becomes very impractical. It appears that okay, hearing is okay, sometimes like good entertainment, but what is the output? What is the practicality of that? So we understand the most practical thing to be done, and that's how Shukadeva Goswami told Parikshit Maharaj that at this hour of your death, most practical thing to do is you sit down and hear Srimad Bhagavatam, 7 days and 7 nights. There was no practical how to fight or how to counteract or how to, the most practical thing was sit and hear. So when we are hearing Krishna Katha profusely, that is the most practical way of becoming happy in this world. That is the most practical way of removing all our miseries forever. So here we see that Rukmini Devi is telling, Shrutva gunan bhuvana sundara shunvatam te nirvishya karna vivarair harato angatapam rupam drusham dushimatam akhilartha labham tvayachyuta vishati chitramapatrapam me. That seeing you is the most cherished desire coming to fructification. So you are the object of seeing for everybody, and by seeing you, eyes become very fortunate. By seeing you, all the desires of seeing are removed. By seeing you, I understand now, I don't have to see anybody else now. So this is Rukmini Devi telling that when I see you, then I am perfectly removed of all my distress coming because of the touch of this material world. Same thing also is described by the Brahman Patnis when they are meeting Krishna. Because Brahman Patnis also, they had never seen Krishna personally. And then when Krishna and Balaram, they were traveling in the forest along with their cows and calves. So when they came close to this village, they were very hungry. And then Krishna and Balaram told some of the cowherd boys that you go and ask some alms, because now this is the time for Brahmanas doing yajna. And then in yajna they have a lot of foodstuffs which they offer. So now the offerings must have been done. After the yajna they distribute it to the common people. So you go now and then get some prasad, so that devotees can take happily. So when they went, all these Brahmanas, they were doing big mantras and tantras and all the pujas they were doing. So this simple-hearted cowherd boys, they went there and asked the Brahmanas that, my dear Brahmanas, you are like the king of the earth. You are so please give us some food, because Lord Krishna and Balaram, they have come very close. But the Brahmanas were so engaged in the doing yajna, they forgot to feed the master of the yajna, Krishna, who is standing there, who is the source of all yajnas, who is the result, giver of all yajnas, who is the object of that yajna. He is there, and then they were unaware of this. So they didn't even say yes or no. They didn't even bother. So they were very unhappy. They went back. Krishna and Balaram said, no problem, don't worry. You go back again and ask to Brahman Patnis. They love me very much. So you go to them, they will give you everything. So again they go back. And when the Brahman Patnis heard that Krishna has come very close, they had always been desiring to see Krishna, because they also had heard many times about Krishna from the gopis who used to come there for selling butter and milk and things like that. So they had heard stories of Krishna, his valor, his different pastimes. So they were also very attracted to Krishna. So they also very thought that when we'll see Krishna. But then when they saw this opportunity to feed Krishna, immediately they started putting all the different items in their big baskets, and then they carried it. So when they went to see Krishna, very nice Bhagavatam describes this meeting of Brahman Patnis and Krishna. This comes in 23rd chapter. This 10, 23, 22nd. Shamam hiranya paridhim vanamalya barha dhatu pravala natavesh anavratam se vinyasta hastam itarena dhunam cha abjam karnotpala kapola mukhabjahasam. So it says his complexion was dark blue and his garments golden, wearing a peacock feather, colored minerals, spring of flower buds, and garland of forest flowers and leaves. He was dressed just like a dramatic dancer. He rested one hand upon the shoulder of a friend, and with the other twirled a lotus. Lilies graced his ears. His hair hung down over his cheeks, and his lotus-like face was smiling. So when they saw this beauty of Krishna, they were fully satisfied. And then the next shloka, Shukadeva Goswami talks about it. Prayashruta priyatamodya karna purair yasmin nimagna manasam tamadhakshirandhrai antahpraveshya suchiram parirabhyatapam pradnyam yathabhimatayo vijaho narendra. So here also the same thing comes, that how they had heard. It says that for a long time those Brahmana ladies had heard about Krishna, their beloved, and his glories had become the constant ornament of their ears. Indeed, their minds were always absorbed in him. Through the apertures of their eyes, they now forced him to enter within their hearts, and they embraced him within for a long time. In this way, they finally gave up the pain of separation from him, just as sages give up the anxiety of false ego by embracing their innermost consciousness. So here also same thing comes, that prayaha shruta priyatamodya karna purair, that they also had heard about Krishna for sufficient long time. And what happened because of that? Yasmin nimagna manasam, that their mind was completely absorbed, drenched in thoughts of Krishna. So we see that when that was the case, when this coward boys had come to ask some food stuffs, and they just told that Krishna and Balaram, they had come very close. So they did not just give prasad and then told them we go. They said, we'll take prasad, we will personally come. We also want to meet Krishna. So when they were traveling there, they were going to meet Krishna. It was not an easy task for them, because it comes in the ahead that next sloka it says that their husband, their other relatives, brothers, even their sons, forbade them to go towards Krishna. They said, no, no, how a chaste woman can go like this outside seeing somebody. So they forbade, but then anyway they went to see Krishna. So there Bhagavatam says that when somebody has heard about Krishna, about the pastimes of Krishna for long period of time, what happens is that hearing of Krishna and then the mind becoming absorbed in Krishna wins over all other responsibilities and attractions of this world. So Bhagavatam describes that they win over, although there were so many obstacles and obstructions. So this also gives a very good lesson for all of us. If you really want to achieve Krishna, if you really want to obtain Krishna, and obtaining Krishna is not so easy in this material world, where so many obstacles will be there, so many hindrances will be there, so many people will pull our leg before we actually get Krishna. But then, pulling leg by somebody else who we don't like, some inimical person is there and he obstructs, we don't mind it so much, because who cares? Even if somebody outside says that, why you are chanting Hare Krishna, who cares? But then, when very close, heart-to-heart relationship people, when they obstruct, that becomes a great challenge. But then, we see here that Krishna really helps his devotees to win over all such obstacles, which are, because of our own attachment, just by hearing about him. So it's such a powerful method of conquering over all the three worlds. Whatever is there in this world, whatever can tempt us, whatever can obstruct our advance towards Krishna consciousness, can very easily be vanquished. It can be won over just by absorbing ourselves in the hearing process. So that's how it says that the real wealth is Krishna Katha, and the real ornament of ear is Krishna Katha. Generally we see that many times people, they put some ring or some valuable jewels so that it will bring forth beauty to ear. But in this material world, the real beauty of the ear is how much intently we are hearing about Krishna Katha, which is the most practical thing. So, when we are seeing this Rukmini Devi, how she was so intently hearing and then getting absorbed in Krishna, she became practically fearless. She was ready to go against brother and the whole family and invite Krishna that please come and take me. Then the next text, she says, Katva mukunda mahati kulashila rupa vidya vayo dravina dhama bhirama tulyam dhirapatim kulavati navrunita kanya Kale nusimhanaraloka manobhiramam. O Mukunda, you are equal only to yourself in lineage, character, beauty, knowledge, youthfulness, wealth and influence. O lion amongst men, you delight the minds of all mankind. What aristocratic, sober-minded and marriageable girl of a good family would not choose you as her husband when the proper time has come? So he is glorifying Krishna, that who is in this world who will marry anybody else than Krishna, like that. So the real pati is Krishna. Others who go on having the titles of Pati, whether it is the Rashtrapati, Ye Pati, O Pati, all Patis are zero in front of Krishna because the real Pati is Krishna. So, Pati means one who is providing the necessities and taking care. So, the real Pati is Krishna. So, he is the real well-wisher who can actually gives the greatest shelter and happiness to all the living entities. So this Krishna is glorified here by Rukmini Devi, that who else I will find. You see in the 10th canto the same description also comes when Krishna is trying to make Rukmini angry. Because Krishna is the ocean of all qualities and all rasas. So Krishna also tastes all rasas through the interactions with his devotees. Krishna becomes very pleased when some of his queens become angry, like Satyabhama, that he loves very much. And similarly, he loves submissive, humble service of Rukmini. But at one point of time, he wanted to see Rukmini in angry mood. And then Krishna started rebuking and finding a mistake in Rukmini's choice. And then Krishna started telling that, why did you choose me? Was there nobody else in this whole world? Shishupal was better choice than me. He was such a great king. I am not a king also. I'm here like a one person amongst everybody. A real king is here, Ugrasen. I am not king also. And nobody knows my caste. Sometimes I herd cows. Sometimes I do fighting. So then she was started giving all the justification that why your choice of choosing me was not correct. And now at this time, Rukmini had sons and their sons. Rukmini was like, and then Krishna was telling that still time has not gone. Still you have a choice that if you want to take a U-turn and make your life better, that is there. So now instead of becoming angry, Rukmini ji became so overwhelmed with anxiety that is it literally Krishna wants me to leave? That Krishna is telling me that you go away? Is he rejecting me? So by thinking like that, she fainted on ground. Krishna has to go and catch Rukmini. So we see that that's how Rukmini loves Krishna. That she can never see anything which separates her from Krishna, that is unbearable. So this Rukmini Devi is now glorifying Krishna. Then she goes on describing ahead. Tanme bhavan khaluvrita parirangajayam atmarpitascha bhavatotra vibho videhi ma vira bhagamabhi marshatu chaidya arad goma yuva nrugapater balimam bujaksha. Therefore, my dear Lord, I have chosen you as my husband, and I surrender myself to you. Please come swiftly, O Almighty One, and make me your wife. My dear lotus-eyed Lord, let Shishupal never touch the hero's portion like a jackal stealing the property of a lion. So we see that she felt that she belongs to Krishna and she should not be exploited or put under the custody of anybody else. And specifically not like Shishupal, like that. So she says that you are a lion, and then the property of lion, if this goes in the hands of very lowly animal, that is not very good. It's not a very proud to be of. it's a disgrace to lion. So she is telling that what will happen if your property goes in somebody else's hand. He said, better you quickly come and release me from this. So we see that we all are property of Krishna, and then we are supposed to be enjoyed by Krishna. We are supposed to be in service of Krishna. But then when in this material world, by our own, we come and then we give ourselves in the hands of so many people of this world. That's how he says, Vifale sevinu krupana durjana chapala sukha lavalagire. That the Lord has given us this very valuable human form of life. We are part and parcel of the Lord. And when we come here, this most auspicious, most benevolent form of gift which Krishna has given, we use that gift to earn some petty things of this world and then give this very valuable human life in the hands of those who are krupana, who have no intelligence, who are so mean-minded. So why to serve this material world who is like reject? Why not to serve Krishna and be most fortunate? So here Rukmini is telling that I want to be fortunate. I don't want misfortune of serving people like Shishupal. How the thing is, we see that when we are serving the Lord and when we are serving outside, it may appear the same, that outside also they work very hard, they achieve some things. And you see, when devotees, they come, here also there are so many services and so many things are there. Sometimes so many anxieties devotees take on to serve Krishna. So you feel that if somebody is coming for sake of some peace and some shanti, Om Shanti Shanti, then sometimes people feel that what is this? That's here also devotees are so much in anxiety. But then we see the difference is that when devotees take anxiety, as we know that recently we were hearing so many wonderful pastimes of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj, that devotees were telling that any difficulty in ISKCON, the first devotee to be affected was Gopal Krishna Maharaj. He will not be able to sleep at night till the point he solves that issue. So he will go out of his way to make sure that that is settled. So we see that devotees take so much responsibility, anxiety to serve Krishna. But then we see that, like morning I was seeing that 4:30, 4:28, so many devotees were running. So to take darshan, Mangala darshan. Outside people also they run. They also have 4:28 local to catch. And then they run, practically smashing each other, and then so risky. So one may feel that what is the difference? They are also running, we are also running. But then our run is to satisfy Krishna, and that satisfy us fully. When they run, they keep running only. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jathare shayanam. That they keep running only. So here she is telling that you please come and then take me. So one very important quality which comes forth, which Rukmini ji is showing by her sons, by her this verse, says, you come here and then capture me in front of all these kings, so that, and then she is so smart, she knew that if Krishna comes and Krishna has to kidnap Rukmini, If Rukmini ji is there in the main palace, then Krishna has to go inside the palace killing so many relatives, and so lot of bloodshed will be there. So she only gives idea to Krishna that if you feel that coming inside the palace will be little difficult, difficulty not by Krishna can kill the whole universe, that's not a difficulty. Difficulty is that Krishna may feel that, how can I touch your relatives and harm them in your marriage. So she said that don't worry. Our tradition is that the Navavadhu, or the person to be wedded, she goes to take darshan of Girija outside of the city. So when I go there, that time you kidnap me. So that was the plan. So that plan also given by Rukmini to Krishna. And then in the 43rd shloka she says, Yasyangri pankaraja snapanam mahanto vanchantyumapati rivatmatamopahatyai yarhyambujakshanalabheya bhavat prasadam jahyamasuna vrtakrshan shatajanmabhisyat. O lotus-eyed one, great souls like Lord Shiva hanker to bathe in the dust of your lotus feet and thereby destroy their ignorance. If I cannot obtain your mercy, I shall simply give up my vital force, which will have become weak from the severe penances I will perform. Then after hundreds of lifetimes of endeavor, I may obtain your mercy. So she is ready to wait till hundreds of lifetimes, because when she is writing this letter, but she knows that Krishna is very great. Why he will come? I am such a small personality. Why for me Krishna will come? In that case, if Krishna sees any flaw, if Krishna sees any defect in me, and because of that Krishna is not coming and he is not able to extend his helping hand of mercy, then she says that no problem. Even Krishna doesn't come this time, I will better die, and then in next life I will try again for Krishna. But I don't want to be settled with somebody else than Krishna. So she was determined. So devotee is determined that only Krishna and nothing else. So that is the ekantiki bhakti, that one feels that my only goal is to achieve Krishna and no compromise, no second level agreement of compromise. If not Krishna, then somebody else. No, not like that. So Krishna and only Krishna. And for that she is ready to live and go through the penances, go through the difficulties, go through all the tapasya, so that she will be purified, and then Krishna will say, okay, now you are purified, I am coming. So we see in our life also, when we are practicing Krishna consciousness, sometimes because the difficulties overwhelm and one feels that so many days I am practicing Krishna consciousness, so many years I am practicing Krishna consciousness, still why Krishna is extending not his hand and helping me? So here we understand that devotee is determined even if Krishna's help comes little later. He doesn't demand that Krishna has to come now only. I am praying for you, I am in need, come. No, devotee feels, I am in need, I need you, and even if you don't come, I'll wait. How much I'll wait? 1 year, 10 years, 100 years? He says, millions of births I can wait, because that is very glorious to achieve Krishna. So we see the great determination of Rukmini Devi to achieve Krishna despite of so much of waiting period like that. Because this waiting period is very crucial. People, they just lose their heart. They feel very depressed. They feel hopeless. But then we see that Rukmini ji is desperate, helpless, but not hopeless. So helpless doesn't mean that you have to be hopeless only. She has a great hope that if this time not Krishna comes, in future he will come, surely. So Rukmini, although in such a helpless situation, that helplessness doesn't hamper her hopefulness. That she is always hopeful that Krishna will come, and then he will take me to his place. So today we are celebrating this Rukmini Dwadashi. So we pray to Rukmini Dwarkadhish, and we also are fortunate to have so close. Rukmini is now also staying in Pandharpur with Lord Vithala to give the blessings to all the devotees. So the real blessing is this, that how we can get this mentality of hearing about Krishna and conquering over all our attachments. Some attachments are very hard and some attachments are very soft. So all such attachments will be win over, we can, by hearing sufficiently about Krishna. And then when we are determined to have Krishna and nothing else, then Krishna comes. That. Hare Krishna. So I'd like to request if some comments.
Hare Krishna. In the first verse, Vishnu Thakur comments that Krishna seemed to have asked, are you not ashamed to write a letter like this? Because usually women don't propose like this, and you don't even know me and I don't know you. So how you are so shameless? That is the meaning, Chitta Patrapam. Yeah? No, I am shameless, but you are responsible for my shamelessness. What I have done? No, your beauty and your qualities. You know, so these two make anybody shameless. That is the meaning. Then in the next verse, she says, Mukunda, Kava Mukunda Mahatim Kularupa Shila. In that, he says, Mukunda means, Kunda flower means jasmine. Your face is beautiful like jasmine, then you are always smiling. Oh Mukunda, you are always smiling. By accepting my hand, you make me also smile. Then one Acharya comments that Dhiram Patim Kulavati na Vrinita Kanya, third line. Then he says that Dhira means one whose intelligence captures Krishna in his heart. That is Dhira. And then Kulavati, what is our Kula? He says, we are Prapanna Kula. You know, our caste is Prapanna Kula. We are Prapatti, like that. Then Kaler Nashingha, Naraloka, Manobhiramam. So Sri Ramanujacharya, he comments regard this, that who is more beautiful, Krishna, Rama, or Narsingadev? So he says that Narsingadev is more beautiful because Krishna's beauty 100 marks, and then Rama's beauty 100 marks, Nara. But here beauty of Simha 100 marks, beauty of Nara is 100 marks, so 200 marks. You know, then what is the proof? Rukmini Devi wrote, saying that you come like lion. Kale Nasimha, Narloka. So she is remembering Narsingadev. You come like Narsingadev. Like that. These other verse, Purteshta Datta, Vratanayama, Deva Vipra. In that verse, Vishwanath Chakravarti comments that I am telling you, I will not accept Shishupala. Grinat me na Damagosha Sutayor Tvadanya. Not only Shishupal, even if Lord Narayana comes and asks my hand, I will refuse. Only I will accept you only. Why? What is so special about me? Then the next verse she says, Ambujakshana. Here he Ambujakshana. Because, I am not able to concentrate because your eyes are so beautiful. There is no comparison. Yeah? Why? Because I want to take the dust of your lotus feet. Which dust even Lord Shiva desires. For what? Vanchanti Umapatir, Tameva, said, in order to become free from Tamogun, even Lord Shiva wants to keep the dust of your lotus feet on there. So if I don't get your mercy, Yari Hambujakshana Labeta Bhavat Prasada, she says, Prabhupada writes in this regard in Krishna book that everybody should have determination like Rukmini Devi. That she is saying that I will perform austerity and penance and give up my life after life for 100 more lifetimes, but I will not accept anybody as my husband. So Prabhupada says one should have determination like Rukmini Devi. We should not accept anybody other than Krishna as our Swami. Then Prabhupada adds, it is very, very difficult to get a determination like this. Unless somebody has lot of punya, one will not get that. Otherwise, somebody may adjust for something lower. Okay, Swargalok mil gaya, theek hai, acha. Like that, somebody may settle. But Prabhupada says one should have determination like Rukmini Devi. Then in the Krishna book, in other chapters, Prabhupada writes that Krishna told Rukmini Devi that, my dear Devi, you have conquered my heart by your silence. Then Prabhupada explains that when Shishupal, Rukmini was being insulted, Rukmini Devi did not say anything. Then during Aniruddha's marriage, Rukmini was killed. That time also she did not protest that your brother has killed my brother. Because she is so afraid that if I say anything against his brother, Krishna may leave me. That's why she kept quiet even though she is distressed. So that is why Prabhupada says, better to remain silent than protest. Because Krishna told Rukmini Devi that your silence has conquered my heart. So very wonderful pastime. In Andhra Pradesh, they do a lot of dramas on this, Rukmini Kalyanam. So we are very accustomed.
Okay, thank you. So, yeah.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Bhuji, for nicely describing this pastime and wonderful lessons. You are mentioning how, Prabhuji, for hearing for a long time about Krishna's pastime, beauty, qualities, that attachment for Krishna is developed. And that is the way Srimad Bhagavatam gives the solution for all our miseries of life, sufferings in this material world. You mentioned, Prabhuji, about His Holiness Radha Govind Swami Maharaj mentioning this is the most practical thing a devotee should do. But you see our situation that we are so contaminated by lower modes. It's become most difficult whenever we sit for hearing. So the sleep comes and the feeling is there only. This is how we can do such long time hearing. Better do some practical service to Srila Prabhupada, going out for Harinam Sankirtan, book distribution or some cleaning. So this is very difficult. How we can develop such affection or inclination for hearing what we need to be done, Puji.
Yeah, so we may not have capacity and eagerness to hear, but that doesn't mean that we settle on something else. No, the goal remains goal only. We can have in between step to climb to reach to that goal. So that's why otherwise we may do all our duties very perfectly, but if the rati for Krishna is not achieved, then Bhagavatam says that that is just waste of time. So the ultimate thing is about getting attached to Krishna and attached to the form, pastimes, holy name of the Lord. So in between, when we are engaging ourselves in the daytime, the goal is to get purified and then sit and hear. Goal is to purify our consciousness now, which is very polluted. Purify our mind, which is very polluted. Purify our intelligence, which is purified. Purify our senses, which are now polluted. By engaging them, so that they will be purified, and then what? Then you sit and hear. So, hearing, that's how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was asking what is the goal, and then Ramananda Raya was telling so many things. He was telling, Yat karoshi, yad ashnasi, yad juhosi dadasi, do everything. He said, no, that is external. Tell me something more. Then he said, Sarva dharman parityaja. He said, okay, but still, when it came to this verse, that, which verse? Sthane sthita shrutigata manovang manobhir. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very happy. So the goal of life is to hear. For that, life goal achievement can be in different stages. That's okay. So it's like that. We cannot sit and read and hear and chant all the day. No problem. Then Prabhupada has given us so many wonderful services by which we are purified. So
To develop that attachment or eagerness, what means we should do now? What means should practices we should do, that attraction for hearing, that
Bhagavatam describes attraction for hearing comes by serving Mahabhagavatas. So serving Guru and all our parampara, we get that attraction to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. It's like that. So whatever they have told us, we do it so that we achieve that attraction. Srila Prabhupada ki, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
His Grace Sundar Chaitanya Prabhu Ji ki jai.